In the last video, I explained you three forms of market: perfect competition, monopoly, and monopolistic. Before coming on to oligopoly, uh, I discuss some of board questions with you on these three forms of market. There are some straightforward questions like they will give you feature and they will ask what are the implications of this feature, or for example say large number of sellers. Its implication is firm is a price taker. So there may be a different form of question. They may ask like uh, why under perfect competition firm is price taker. Why is firm price taker under perfect competition? So the implication is given to you and they are asking about feature of the product, right? Another type of question: why firms under perfect competition earn normal profit in the long run? So in the answer you will have to mention the feature, and the answer is almost same. When you explain feature, you explain its meaning, its implication, and if you are going back to feature, the answer will remain almost same. You write down the feature of the product, then its meaning, and due to that its implication is this, right? So you must know how to interpret the question, but ultimately answer is almost more like same answer. So if you know the feature and implication, then you can write any form of question in this on this particular topic. So now I come on to the fourth form of market, that is oligopoly. Oligo means few, poly means seller. So the definition of any form of market, in the definition you can write its main assumptions or its main features. Like if they ask you to define perfect competition, so you will write it is that form of market. It is that form of market in which large number of sellers are selling homogeneous products to large number of buyers with free entry and exit of firms, and where there is a perfect knowledge for both consumers and producers. It becomes definition of perfect competition. Similarly, if they ask you to define oligopoly, then it is that form of market in which few sellers are selling either homogeneous or differentiated products. So if they give you MCQ under say a differentiated product is which form of is a feature of which form of market, so it is feature of both monopolistic competition and oligopoly. So in oligopoly, if few firms are selling homogeneous products, it is called perfect oligopoly, and if these few firms are selling differentiated products, it becomes differentiated oligopoly. The features of oligopoly: very first feature is few sellers. Second feature, very important, barriers on the entry of new firms. Third feature, non-price competition. Fourth feature, importance of selling costs. Fifth feature, AR curve. The shape of AR curve is indeterminate. Another feature, price leadership. So these are the features. There are some more features which are implications of all these features. For example, few sellers. Its meaning is that there are few sellers. It means that each firm is selling a very significant share. Unlike perfect competition and monopolistic competition, under oligopoly, firms, they have very significant share of the product in the market. So firm can influence the price. means. Firm can influence market price of the product. But what is the implication of this feature? It shows a very high degree of interdependency. Like if firm is lowering price of its product, then it will have to face reactions by its rival firms. This is the implication: high degree of interdependency among firms. Second feature, barriers on the entry of new firms. Meaning, barriers like patents, copyrights, license requirement, even huge cost of production is also a barrier. And the implication, again, it is there are few sellers due to barriers on the entry of new firms. So they may ask a question ki why are there few sellers in oligopoly? Because of barriers on the entry of new firms. And you give meaning of barriers on the entry. Selling costs are very much required under differentiated oligopoly, because firms, they have their significant share, and since there is a high degree of interdependency, so firms, they do not fight on price of the product. They compete on like branding of the product, whom to make brand ambassador of the product to increase their sales. They do different kinds of advertisements to attract consumers. So selling costs are very much required. So if the budget is reduced by any oligopoly firm on its advertisement, then it may lose its customer base, because those customers may be pulled up by other firms by doing huge spending on advertisement. For example, if there are many kind of soft drinks available in the market, but most of us, they know only about Coke and Pepsi. Okay, selling costs are also required. Then another feature is non-price competition, which is almost same like this. I have already explained what is non-price competition. Then there is another form of oligopoly, like cooperative oligopoly and non-cooperative oligopoly. Cooperative oligopoly, also called collusive oligopoly. So under cooperative oligopoly, firms, they cooperate each other regarding their price and output policy. They decide not to fight, they do not to compete on price. Okay. They also decide the level of output sold by each and every firm. That is called collusive oligopoly. It may lead to consumer exploitation. And non-collusive oligopoly, the firms, they decide their price on their own. It may lead to price war. It is also called competitive oligopoly. So not only features but also price of the product on which firms, they compete with each other. Non-collusive oligopoly. Now we have seen there are three different ways of oligopoly. Three different ways in which oligopoly firm may behave. And these three different ways are collusive oligopoly, non-collusive oligopoly, and non-price competition. Okay. Then shape of AR curve is indeterminate. It is again because of high degree of interdependency among firms. Because if firm decreases price of its product, it will be followed by all other firms in the oligopoly. So there won't be any huge change in the output sold by that firm. So there is a inelastic demand when price is reduced, and when price is increased by a firm, other firms, they do not follow that. So in that case, there is a huge change in the output sold by that firm. So we can say the elasticity is high. So due to different elasticities of demand, the shape of AR curve, which is also called firm's demand curve, is indeterminate. Okay. Price rigidity. Prices remain rigid. Again, high degree of interdependency among firms. The price is decreased by any one firm in oligopoly form of market, then it is followed by all other firms. So ultimately, there is no increase in the output sold by that firm. So, what's the use of decreasing the price when there is no increase in output sold? And when the price is increased by a firm in expectation of increasing profit, but other firms, they usually keep their price same, they do not increase their price. So consumers, they get attracted by uh, lower price firms. So prices remain rigid. There is no benefit either in increasing the price or decreasing the price. So prices remain rigid almost all the time. So these are the features of oligopoly. There is another form, duopoly, when there are only two firms in oligopoly. It is called duopoly. So now you can send your doubts on this form of market. There was one more question asked by one of you, that I don't remember right now. So I see what was the question, and then I reply to that personally. If you want me to send any other video on any other topic you want me to explain you, then you can WhatsApp me. I'll send another video for you, but do it a little faster. Okay, good night.